We've all been there. We've seen players who just sit in the back of the map contributing nothing actual to the team by just pointlessly farming damage, and at the end of the game they just complain about the trash team. Or the guys that complain about the trash team from the very get-go because they have some kind of matchmaking monitor and they think that seeing all red constitutes a guaranteed loss. They look at their high damage numbers and they think that they are gods, but are they actually that good? I can say that there is this golden rule in competitive gaming, regardless of the game you're playing. You don't always need to carry the game and be the first, but you always need to be carryable. And today, in this video, we're gonna move past the surface level numbers and we're gonna break down what actually makes a great World of Warships player, apart from the fact that all the great World of Warships players already left the game. How to read the correct metrics, and how to track your genuine progress without falling into a trap of the statistics. And for the purpose of checking the stats, we're gonna both use the game stats and World of Warships numbers website. The link is gonna be in the description. Let's start with the two biggest illusions in the game: raw damage and division win rate. Sure, farming big numbers of damage is looking nicely on your post-battle screen. But if all of that was done by just setting fires on big battleships that they can just repair with press of one button, the impact is borderline none. What matters in terms of damage is how much of it sticks to the enemy. What I mean is that there are two kinds of damage in World of Warships. Soft, which is fires, floods, HE, and hard, the one that actually sticks, which is a citadel damage, AP pen damage, and torpedo damage. XP kinda reflects what kind of damage you've done, how valuable it was, because the XP is counted based on the percentage of the enemy HP taken rather than the raw damage value. So dealing 20k to a Shimakaze is gonna give you much more XP than dealing 50, 60, actually even 80k to a Yamato. So you need to take in mind that what you want to do is the damage that sticks and not the big damage number. And then there is the division win rate, which is very heavily inflated regardless of your skill level. And what do I mean by that? Because even few average players with basically 50% solo win rate can easily push past 55, even up to 60% just by coordinating basic focus fire and picking the right ships. Because apes together strong. So it doesn't really reflect on your personal progress in the game. And I don't want to just be like negating, well, I have friends and I play with friends, so what's your problem? No. Play with your friends, it's totally fine. But the division win rate, you shouldn't use that as an excuse or a reason why you're such a good player, because it's not. What matters is your solo win rate. A win rate that you do on your own, because that reflects how you personally influence the match. Division win rate is how well you can coordinate with the set amount of people that you play with. I think you should get the difference here. Both are good statistics, different reasoning. Okay, but what about the rigged matchmaking and all the people that say that the match is lost from the get-go. Well, let's jump into that, shall we? Winning requires sacrifice.
Not really your style.
It's just a harsh truth, but in a team game like World of Warships, your individual scoreboard isn't always everything. Sometimes being a good player means knowing when and how to sacrifice your personal stats to secure a victory. Like I said, you always need to be carryable. It means holding collapsing flank solo just so that the rest of the team can deal with the enemy. It's slowing those 5 enemies just to buy time for your team, or holding those 2 super unicorn players in the division hostage until your team wipes the rest of the enemies. It also means using your HP pool to push forward, draw fire from the enemy, from low health ally who might have their game of their life but need a little bit of assistance. You won't get a ribbon for saving a teammate from a stealthy destroyer that is constantly nagging them, or enemy battleship that might just one-shot them, but you just secured another gun in the fight, and that wins games. Which actually brings us to the ultimate myth about World of Warships and generally wargaming games, the rigged matchmaking. And I want to kill that excuse right here and right now. Because no match is decided straight on the loading screen. And I know you might think that having so many unicorn players in the opposing team and like some tomatoes in yours is straight up a loss, but think of the matchmaking pool through a 33% rule. Because roughly 1/3 of your games are gonna be unwinnable. Your team will just straight up collapse, 5 minutes, everyone dead. No matter what you do, it's gonna be a loss. Another 33% are basically unlosable no matter what you do. You could literally just go AFK in your spawn and your team will still stomp the enemy. But there is this final 33%. And that's where you come in. Because that slice is entirely depending on you and what you do in this battle. If you give up early, tilted by bad lineup, potatoes in your team, just a red scoreboard, you instantly throw away that chance to have any influence in that critical 33%. Ergo, you're gonna be actually going towards the 33% win rate of the games that you, no matter what you would do, you would win. So that's what I mean. Even if you have like a bad week or 3, it happens. Me to the best of us. Doesn't matter. What you want to do is in the 33% of the free wins, just be happy about the free win. Do as much as you can, limit test yourself a little bit. In the 33% that are unwinnable, that you see your team completely collapsing, this is your time to try hard. Those are the games when you earn the most PR, which is, stat farming. Straight up damage numbers go brit, right? And the remaining 33% when the match is sort of even, this is where you actually focus and try to get yourself in the mind that the match depends on what you do. And this way you're gonna push to the higher win rate, and yes, you might not really get above the 70%. Even the best players have a very hard time pushing up past 65 and going forward. They usually use the divisions actually to do that. That's a completely different topic that I already talked about. Okay, to make things a little bit more clear, how to actually track the progress and the self-reflection mindset of what you're supposed to be doing. So, the damage can be farmed, and the matchmaking, like I said, 2/3 of the time is actually not about you. But first, you need to track your solo win rate in the recent times. Use websites such as WoWs numbers actually also give you a progress that you've made in those recent times. You see those minus percentages, plus percentages, colors and stuff. This is how you can easily track how well you've performed in the recent days. Strip away the divisions, see how you impact the map alone, but don't obsess over your overall career stats. Because if you, like me, have thousands of battles, even having very bad streak when regrinding a line or grinding a new line of horrible submarines, those battles basically do not really move my win rate in any way, shape, or form. Basically, you see how glaciers move, apart from the fact that they are now melting. Yeah, that's basically the speed. This website also gives you graphs that you can track visually, and I think it's more appealing to see graph going up in the past couple days than going down, right? But that's only like half of the story. The real progress happens in your head, in your gray, let's say. After every match, regardless if it's won or lost, ask yourself, what could I have done better knowing that this, and this happened in the match? Start reading the early signals on the minimap. This spot that is, for example, empty. This spot that has so many enemies in it. My cruiser doing this. My DD is dying over there. Track what happens on the minimap. And then check if you see that the flank is collapsing at this moment. And did you anticipate it? Or did you wait until you were already surrounded, for example? Measure your success by how often you put the enemy in a hopeless situation versus how often you let yourself get baited into one. Because replaying the matches in your head, or use the replay system if you like, is the fastest way to build the game sense. And this also comes down to this little part about the builds. I assume that if you're watching this video, you already know how to build your ship correctly. Like, you watch a guide about the ship, you know how it performs, what kind of tool it is. But if you see that your performance is very low on that ship, maybe you're not doing what the ship is supposed to be built about, or you have completely different build that is not really fitting this tool, because ships are tools and you need to prepare them correctly. Don't cut grass with scissors, use a lawnmower. That's something I've been repeating a lot on this channel. Becoming a good player isn't about chasing the purple rating on that website though. It's about how consistent you are about reading the map and knowing when to play for the team rather for your own scoreboard. But don't worry, if you're gonna be performing those steps, at least the recent statistics should actually move towards blue and purplish colors. So stop worrying about the matches that you are destined to lose. Stop stressing about the 33 that you cannot really do much in because your team is winning it for you. and start mastering the 33% that you can actually control. And that should be the summary of this video. What do you think about the rules that I put over here? And what do you think about following what I said to be a better player in World of Warships? It's been Senpai Silent. See you next time.